record. I'm going to mute everybody. Oops, I unmuted everybody. Okay, and then I'm going to unmute Stephanie because she's going to be my co-host. Anyone has to jump in with questions too. Feel free. So we have a list of questions we're going to go through today. And then we're also going to unmute it at the end for any bonus questions. Hey there. So let's go right ahead and get started. So I am such a dork, you guys. I'm on my computer with my laptop next to me with all of the questions typed out. So before we get into everything, just wanted to go over announcements that it is still the end of the month. So if you are at Success Club 3 or 4 or even 0, like don't give up until you go to bed. You know, just look for people to help, follow up with people, ask on your Facebook if anyone wants to do you a favor. Like just have that mindset. I know one of my coaches is still pushing hard. And I told her, like, that's the attitude you have to have. You know, you just have to believe you can do it. So keep pushing hard. Game plan for September. Start to think about your goals for September and how you're going to accomplish them. You know, do you want to reach Success Club 5? And if that's the case, you should invite at least 30 people to a challenge group. Not a free one, but a paid one. Or you should invite at least 12 people to the business. You know, set some goals like that to really help you. And think about what kind of groups to run. We found out today, Stephanie posted that PIO is on sale and the refresh. So use that to your advantage. Like I'm going to do a refresh after Labor Day. So tomorrow I'm going to talk to people and see if they want to do it with me. And then as long as they order by tomorrow, they should have it by next week. And even if they start on Tuesday and I start on Monday, like we'll still be doing it together. So think about that. We haven't talked about when the sneak peek is for September. So I'm going to check with Sarah because I'm going to be gone and Steph's going to be gone. But maybe Sarah and Leandra can help facilitate that. So we'll definitely still have one. I'm going to put a note. I don't have a date yet. So we'll get that together. But for now, you know, keep adding people into the August one. I'll be closing it like the end of the week. So, and I did open this up for guests. So if anyone in the sneak peek is on here, welcome. This is our team Monday night call where we do different topics. Tonight we're doing a big Q&A. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Then let's keep it moving. So like I said, 30 invites if you want to hit Success Club 5. Write out your goals. Write them as if you already have accomplished them. Leandra totally inspired me. She sent me a picture of her goals. And Leandra, do you want to unmute and tell them about how you used to feel about goals?
Okay, yeah. So when I started coaching for Beachbody, I had never written a goal in my entire life. I was never taught to write goals. My parents never wrote goals. It just was not taught to me, and it's terrified me to write a goal. I was scared to fail. I had no idea what to write. I didn't know what I was striving for. So yeah, it took me 11 months to write my first goal. I'm not even exaggerating. So I've done a lot of personal development, followed Chalene Johnson. I've even gone to my own personal therapy sessions, and now I've got all my goals ready to go, and I'm going to crush them. So,
and yeah, what's been happening with your goals? You've been crushing all of them, like old goals that you'd send me.
I try.
Yeah. So there was a good podcast Chalene did. What was it called? See if I can pull it up.
It's Build Your Tribe. I don't remember the name of it. It's her last one on Build Your Tribe. Something about like exploding your business or moving your business forward.
Yeah, I recommend everyone listen to that one.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, I listened to it in the car, and she's like, you need to write it down. I'm like, I'm in the car. So this is a good thing for September to do, and also for the last quarter. And then another good Chalene one that I needed to hear is the reset your time management button. It was on the Chalene show. Do you hear that one too? So that one's about doing a big brain dump. So I've been feeling scattered, and if you've seen my desk, I have like 30 Post-its everywhere. And so I'm committing to just putting them in, writing it down, and then transferring them onto this app. So I'm using Wunderlist. I've used Anydo. I've tried other ones. Find an app that works for you. But she suggested only having your to-do list on your first screen. All your other apps go on the second. So I'm keeping my texts and my weather and stuff like that. But I'm just having the to-do list. Like Facebook can go on the next screen. My email's on the next screen. Just to help you. She's like, I feel like she was yelling at me and talking right to me, but she's like, seeing how many people like your photo is not going to make you money. And it's so true. We get so caught in, like, I did my Periscope and I was like, who's going to be on? And let me check it again. And, so moving that off the home screen, I think will help. And it just made me feel calm. Like, I had a list for the wedding. I have a list of video ideas. I have a list for the team. Like, you can put all your ideas in one spot and then you won't forget anything. So I recommend, listening to that podcast and listening to the one about goal setting for sure. All right. So I'm going to start off with the first question I got from one of our coach to be friends or someone in the open house group. And they were just asking about how challenge groups work. And this is good for even newer coaches to hear too. And so basically in a challenge group, as you are getting people together who are going to do the same program. And you can choose if you want to do a sugar-free program where you all just say, okay, we're going to not eat sugar for 5 days. We're going to hold each other accountable. You can do a water one. You can do a positive one, a motivational one. You can do a gratitude one. You can do so many different types of free groups just to connect with people, get to know them, and help them. And then you can run a paid group. And so a paid group would be like everyone's going to do the 21-day fix, or everyone's going to drink Shakeology, or everyone's going to do both. You get to pick how you want to run it. You get a lot of freedom in it. And then we do have trainings on our team website that goes through and like walks you step by step on how to run your group. So challenge groups are a lot of fun. You get to add your style. And one thing I want to add to everybody is if you have not done your own challenge group yet, and you've been a coach for at least a month, you got to go for it. A lot of times we just sit back and we keep doing the free stuff because it's safe and it's easier, but you have to push yourself to that next level. And my business didn't start growing. The first 3 months were really slow. And that July Christina came over. I had my friends over 4th of July weekend, and we did a shake party where people tried Shakeology. I signed up my first coaches, and I started running challenge groups from that August on. And I've run one every single month. I'm going to run one even the month of the wedding. I don't know what I'm thinking. I have 2 new people I'm working with now, but I'm keeping it a smaller group for this month. But I really just want to keep helping people. So even if you only have 2 people in your group, just go for it. Try it on your own. You really get to put your own style into it and see what works. And you can step up as a leader. So I'm going to pass the next one over to Stephanie on explaining volume and how that works.
Hi guys, and whoever's just on to see what it's like, welcome. So volume can be kind of confusing, and it took me a long time to kind of figure this out, but it's really important to learn it because this is really where your income comes in the business. Commission is so up and down. You're going to have weeks that you can't find anyone that wants to buy anything, and then there's weeks that you have lots of people. So depending on the time of year, the seasons, holidays, commission is so up and down. So it's really important to learn how to build your volume so that your commission is really just like your bonus money. So you really don't have to worry about making a sale. You're really just building your team. So volume is really from creating a team under you. So when you have someone that signs up as a coach under you, whether it's for a discount coach or to build the business, once someone becomes a coach under you, you no longer make commission off of them. You'll get a commission if they sign up with a challenge pack, and you get a bonus. But after that point, you only get volume points. So once that person either buys their monthly Shakeology or makes a sale, you're going to get volume from that person. So as some of you know, we have a weak leg and we have a strong leg. So if you're my coach and I put you on my right side, then you're strong as your right. You'll start to see when you're new down on the left-hand side of the online office, you'll start to see one leg is a lot higher than the other. You might have 0 for a long time in your weak leg if you don't have anyone sign in your weak leg if no one has signed up with you. Your strong leg is going to be who your upline is. And so for example, if Lisa signs up under me as a coach and she's on my right leg, the next person that I sign up and put them on my right leg, they'll actually go underneath Lisa. So she will benefit from that. So it's not just your personally sponsored coaches. So it's huge because everyone that signs up after you that your upline puts underneath you, you'll gain volume from. So strong and weak. Every time you have 200 points on your strong leg and 100 on your weak leg, you will cycle. If you're an emerald or a ruby, you'll get $14 for every cycle. If you're a diamond or above, you get $18 for every cycle. So say your first week you have 200 points on your strong and 100 on your weak. You'll cycle one time and you'll get $14. Say the next week you have 640 points and you have 320 points. If you do the math, 320 goes into 600 3 times. So you'll get 14 times 3, which is 52 if you're an emerald, or times 18 if you're a diamond. So you'll start to see that as you get coaches under you, that volume really starts to grow, and then you really start to get good income. If you have, like I said, if it was 645 and you're only using 600 of those points, those leftover 45 will go into a bank. So every week, if you have like one less, if you need a few more cycles, it'll go into your bank and pull what it needs. So you will have so many points in your bank that are not being used. And as you start to grow your team, it'll start pulling from that, and your income is just going to go way up. If you are trying to like focus that you want to make $500 a week in just Team Cycle bonus, don't worry about commission. You just want to make $500 a week. It's around 5,400 points on your strong leg and around 2,700 on your weak. Now, this may sound daunting at the beginning because they're high numbers, but just know that if you are consistent with adding coaches, whether it's discount or business, those volume numbers are going to grow. And then just double that. If you're thinking, I want to make $1,000 a week just in Team Cycle bonus and not even worry about commission, then it would be double that. So 10,000-ish and 5,000-ish. And I did make a video on this for my team, so I can post that also in Ignited Nation. But I think that's...
Can I add on that?
Yep.
Because I did a video too. After I had something happen where my volume disappeared. And you can also get $500 a week if your legs are like even. It'll pull from 100 from one side, 200 from this side, then 100, 200. Like it keeps alternating. So the goal is it'll just keep cycling as many times as it can. So right now I don't have a strong leg and a weak leg. My legs are both like the same. So it'll just pull each day based on where the points are. So I did another calculation. I don't have it offhand.
Yeah, that's good because I feel like mine have been the same for like ever. So I never.
But when they're the same, it doesn't matter. Your legs will just pull. So I'll find that video too so you guys can see it. And one thing I wanted to add for newer coaches or people watching, volume, you can see what each thing is. If you go into the shop, you'll notice there's a little PV next to everything. That's how you see what the volume is. So if you order clothes, it's 0. If you order like the Energize, which Jen, don't forget to bring me that tomorrow. I have to remember to bring you money. It'll show you the PV for everything in the shop. So everyone needs 50 points to be active. And when you're an Emerald coach, you don't want to lose your Emerald status because all that carryover Stephanie was talking about gets wiped out. And it happened to AJ's account because he's one of my Emeralds, and it was a really sad day. So once you get to Emerald, the goal is to help find more people so you keep that bank up. Because like Stephanie said, you'll notice it'll start to grow and just like get massive. So that was good though. We'll share extra videos on that for sure in the links when we post it. All right, time to talk about mindset. I want to do this one and you can do it too, that Aaron asked us. Did you believe you'd have the success you have, and how did you overcome to have a positive mindset?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
So no, I never ever really thought that this was going to go anywhere. I was just in a place in my life where I was done with starting over with my weight. I tried everything there was, and I was just so sick of failing and starting over. And I was in debt that I had never been in before in my life because I had a new condo in Boston, and I was just at this point where I was like, I have to do something. And I watched Alison's upline coach, Christina's video, and I was like, you know what? If she can do it, why not me? And I just had to have this mentality of why not me? But for me, I really didn't believe that this would really go anywhere. I had in my head, well, if she can do it, I should too. But I really didn't know if it would go anywhere. So I really just focused on myself. I didn't really care at that point where this was going, because I was at such a point with my body and my weight that that's all I cared about. So my focus was getting to a point that I was happy with and confident with myself. So the first 3 or 4 months, I don't think I signed on a coach till I was 3 months in. I wasn't doing even a workout yet with Beachbody. I just was drinking Shakeology and really focusing on me. And I knew that if I just was consistent with that and I was having success, that people would see that. And there wasn't a day that I would miss posting about my shake, because I knew that if I was consistent, then people would start to believe in the product, and they would believe that I believed in it. I felt like for me, being a product of the product is the number one thing in this business. Because if you don't use the product and show that they work, that's like the basis of all of it. So for me, I really didn't know if it would go anywhere. And once I started to see success because of my success and people coming to me, that's when I really started to get a taste of, this could really work. And, people messaging me that their jeans were fitting, and those little emails I would get would bring me up. And, I'd have a couple really good paychecks, and it just kind of hit me that, this can really work. And I knew that it wasn't going to be easy, but I just kept thinking about Alison's. She was in a place that I wanted to be even when I started coaching. And I just kept thinking about her and Christina's story, and just kept using that, to bring me up. And of course, personal development. I feel like you have to, for me, I feel like sometimes listening to other coaches' stories that are super successful, you have to remember that we all start in the same place. We all start from square one. We all start not knowing what we're doing. We all start sending horrible emails to people and sending things we shouldn't and posting things we shouldn't. We all start in the same spot. And I think it's really inspiring to hear of coaches that are in these small little towns, and they were like, I thought I just worked for my dad my whole life, and they never even really had a dream to get further, and they are crushing it. And I think it's great to listen to upline bigger coaches that everyone has different stories. And I think that if you can keep watching them and seeing their success and just taking a little bit of how you can relate to that person, then that helps a lot too. I think that's all I had. Oh, and one other thing. When you have successes, even when they're small to you, relish in those, because they are a big deal. If you paid for, your groceries this week with Beachbody, that's a huge deal. Little things are huge. And I think we have these huge goals for ourselves. And, sometimes people say to me, Steph, you should be really proud. Look at what you've done so far. And we're always wanting more, and we're always reaching for more. But I think it's so important to really, when you have what seems like a little success, to really appreciate that and be proud of yourself, and know that all these little steps that you think are so small are going to add up, and I just think it's really important that you stop every once in a while and really appreciate the hard work you've put in and what you're getting out of this.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally am echoing stuff that you just said, but I definitely recommend reading the book, The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, and The Compound Effect, because when I started, same thing, I was listening to Christina's story on the wake up call day, I was like, wow, we have so much in common. We were in the same place when we started this business. And sometimes I forget that because I see her now. And I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't even buy Shakeology when I signed up at first, because I was still researching it to see if it was legit. And I just told myself, I'm just going to give it 6 months. I'm going to do whatever she tells me for 6 months. And if I lose money and this is a scam, I'm going to quit. And so I remember I started to read those books, and those were the two that just really stood out, because I started to realize, all those little things in your life that you do add up over time. And then she came to my house, like I said, we did that shake party, and that's when it clicked for me, like, this is real. Like, this is a real business. She is doing this full time. Like, I can do this too. And like Stephanie said, finding people's stories that inspire you, you know, like I followed Mindy Wonder for a long time. I followed Lindsay Matway, you know, finding people who inspire you and following those coaches. And then just continuing the personal development. Shalene is awesome. I just did this today, printed my vision board like on a piece of paper so I can have one in my notebook, one on my desk. I'm going to put one in my like bathroom, just putting them everywhere, just surrounding yourself with that. Another thing that helped me for believing in myself is doing gratitude journal every night. So I did 10 things, and I need to get back to this. I did 10 things that I was grateful for that happened, and then I would write 10 things like they'd already happened. So I'd write, I attend a leadership event with Christina. I do this, I do that, and I would write it as if it had happened. And I haven't done it in a couple of days, but I still do that. Like I say, I earned this amount of money this week. I helped this person reach diamond. I helped 10 new brides get ready for their wedding. And so I think that the more you keep like encouraging yourself and saying that you can do it, like it'll help change that mindset. So I did believe I would have success. I didn't know. I'm like one of those people too, like Steph said, like you just want more. Like I want to do more. I'm like, how come I'm not earning $5,000 a week yet? You know, like stupid stuff like that. And then you have to stop and look back and say, wait a minute, you earn more in a week than you did in a month. You know, like stop and look at what you've accomplished and really share those little things with people. So you guys can all do it. You're all on this call, which means a lot because you're taking time out and being here and staying plugged in. And we're here to help. So believe in yourself. You guys can do it. Next question. So what do you have to do to hit Success Club? This is a good one to clarify for everybody. So you get Success Club points. Anytime someone orders a challenge pack, you get 2 points. If they're a coach, you get 2 points. If they're a customer, you get 2 points. You can only get a maximum of 2 points per person. So if somebody wanted a challenge pack this month and next month, they'd cut it off. You'd only get 2 points. So that's one way you get points is from a challenge pack. The other way is from Shakeology on auto ship. You get 1 point. So anytime someone wants Shakeology on at all, I say, I really recommend that you get the auto ship because then you're saving on the shipping. I'll put a note in my phone, an alarm on my calendar to remind you to cancel or modify it, or you can upgrade to coach. But that's what I recommend. Or now that there's challenge packs that are only $10 more, same thing. I would just say like for $10 more, you can get the 3-day refresh, which is normally $70. So I definitely recommend doing that. And then you'll also have access to Beachbody on demand. So my goal is always to just go for it and just put it out there because you never want someone to sign up and be like, oh, why didn't you tell me that I could have gotten a workout for $10 more? You know, so make sure that's how it is. So 5 points is Success Club 5. And then to get Success Club 10, it's 10 points. And then once you're an Emerald coach, you can qualify for Success Club leads. So for Success Club 5, you get, I don't even know. I don't even know. I get a lot of Success Club leads. So maybe Success Club 5, you get 1 or 2 people where you get commission right off the bat. Success Club 10, 2 or 3 or more. And it depends on like the lead cycle wheel. But that's how you get the points, challenge packs or auto ship. When a potential customer is not interested, when do you follow up? How long do you wait? So this is a good one. If they say it's not a good time, you can ask, do you want me to check back with you next month? Or you can just leave it, and I would go back to them with something else. So I can send you and post in here the video I did on following up, but I would just say like, next month I'll check in and see if they want to try a sample of Shakeology. The next month I'll check in and see if they want to join a free group. The next month I might check in and see if they want to join a sneak peek group. So I'm not always following up and saying every time like, join my challenge, like anything like that anymore. I'm doing multiple exposures. So I'm taking them through different steps. Maybe I talked to them about 21 Day Fix, and now I'm going to talk to them about 21 Day Fix Extreme or the new one that's coming out. So really for following up, always follow up and get to know them first, and then talk to them about different aspects of the business. So I usually wait a month. I try to talk to a lot of people, and maybe I should follow up quicker, but I don't ever want to be one of those hounding people or one of those people that adds you into a group without telling you, because that just happened to me before the call. But, always connect with people first and see. And like one call I listened to, she said, wait till they say no, like just no, I don't want to do anything. Like, don't ask me about this. And then you move on. Otherwise you can just keep bringing it up, because you never know when someone's going to say that they're ready. What else did we have? Email collectors, how to pick one and which one to use. This is a hard one. We're like, Shalene has a whole list of them. I use MailChimp. You can create forms on there. So I did a MailChimp form for my email collector. So I use MailChimp as one. And that one I use for people who I'm giving something free to. So I have a gratitude journal I just did. So they give me their email and I give them a gratitude journal. Another way I collect emails is through just Google, through the forms that we were talking about that Jen did. I do forms, and then I can get people's contact info through that. And then I also use Automatic CEO. I don't use it as much as I should. It's a really cool system, but I haven't taken the time to figure it out after 2 years. Yeah. Priorities, right? So I do use it though, because when a new product comes out, they give you a landing page, and it's a video and it's text, and then they enter their email, and then it comes up on my end, and they can even order straight from there. So I do use that as well. So those are the three I use. You kind of have to see what works. I know some people like Constant Contact. I feel like there's one more big one that I'm missing, but find out what works for you and your style. And MailChimp, Google Drive forms, and then Automatic CEO are mine. And then another one for me that I had was, how do you know which leg to place the coach on, and how do you put them on that leg? And I've actually talked to Michelle's signing up coaches like crazy, and I can see you, which I'm excited. Yay. So you have to set it up before they sign up is the goal. So you log into your office, you go to My Business, My Preferred Placement, always choose or select left or right, and click Save. Left or right. Never worry about week, inside, outside, just left or right. That's all you wanted to say. As far as, and then click Save. Now, if somebody signed up, or two coaches, maybe they sign up on the same day, same time, and you don't get to switch, you have 72 hours to email Coach Relations and say, hey, Carrie signed up, but I want to put her on my right leg. So you have to email to do this. You can't call. They'll make you send an email. Make sure it's within 72 hours. And once they're placed, they're set. Now, as far as where they go, this is a tricky one, because you really don't know who. You can have an idea who your builders are going to be, but sometimes coaches say, I'm all in, and then they disappear. Something happens. Or sometimes coaches are like, oh, I just want a discount. And they're like, they're just like in it and ready to go and signing up a gazillion people. So you never know where to put people. But what I suggest in the beginning is alternating until you're diamond. You want to switch it off right and left, right and left. And you do want to have one builder. If someone says they want to do it, or you can help them get to emeralds, you want one emerald on either side. So make sure you're just alternating and you're putting an emerald on either side. Now, once you start to build a big team, that's when the weak leg and strong leg comes in, and we'll do more trainings on this, I think, because it's confusing. But in the beginning, I loaded up my weak leg. I just Stephanie's on my weak leg, Sarah Kidd's on my weak leg. Almost all of you are on my weak leg. And my weak leg, like I said, is now the same as my strong leg. So now my legs are even. So in the beginning, you'll alternate, and then you'll build one leg for a while, and then you'll have to build the other. So we'll go over that. Christina recommended in a training to put your spouse on your strong leg. Christine Dwyer and Lindsay Matway recommend on your weak leg. You can really build it how you want. AJ's on my strong leg, Mike's on Stephanie, or AJ's on my weak leg, Mike's on Stephanie's strong leg. You're going to benefit wherever they are, basically. So hopefully that makes sense on where to put people. But it's really just kind of seeing what their goals are and going there. But like I said, even then, you never know who's gonna like explode. Because Christina probably was like, I'm in her second center. She was probably like, I'm putting Alison here because she said she's not even buying Shakeology. And she was probably like, I don't know, this girl stuck me there. But it all works out. I'm still benefiting obviously from being in her downline and all the trainings and stuff. So you never know who's going to grow a business. Okay, Stephanie, how did you recruit in the beginning when you didn't have a huge team? And did you create a really small group for your crew?
So it actually took me a few months until I got my first coach. I think because I was saying I was really concentrating on myself. But I think it's important, like I said, to just start sharing like even your small successes, because sometimes those crazy successes, like if we're like, I'm making 6 figures in 2 years, and people are like, what? That's not even possible. It's too far out that they can't even relate. So I think sometimes when you share your smaller successes, like, oh, I had enough money to pay for gas this week, or I had enough money to pay for, groceries, then I would say start sharing those small successes, because that's what's going to be relatable to people. And like for me, I utilize Alison and Christina's stories. When I wasn't there yet, I just shared, I said, I'm new to this and I'm still learning, but my coach, and she's only been doing it 2 years and she's already at this point, and her coach, she's been doing it 5 years and she's already at this point. And I just kind of showed them the potential. But I was super open with that. You just have to be open and raw that you're learning too. And if you're new, just be vulnerable and say, this is what Beachbody has done for me so far. Maybe you've lost a specific amount of weight. Maybe you're paying off debt. Maybe mentally you're doing better. Whatever it is, share that with the person and just let them know, like, I would love if you were on this journey with me. And it's almost less intimidating because they feel like they're doing it with a friend and you're doing it together. And you're not necessarily like looking up on this huge, like, that everyone above them is doing so well. And it's almost scary because they're like, well, what if I fail and I don't do that? So I would just say, share the little things and just be a friend and just say, I would love for you to be on this journey with me, and, just make it more of something that's like a little less intimidating. And I would say that you don't have to be a diamond, I would say, to have your own little group. I think that once you have like a core group of 3 or 4 coaches, even that maybe have been coaches a while, if you sign up 4 coaches this month, I wouldn't say start a group. But if you have 4 coaches and you're just with those 4 coaches maybe for 3 or 4 months and you start building relationships with them, then I would say start your own little group and, just start building relationships with them, and you can start building yourself to be a leader and to lead your team. So I think it's good that even when you're not diamond, you still start to grow a little team for yourself. And I think it'll help build the relationships. So I would say, if it's 4 coaches or so and you are growing a relationship with them and it's been a few months, then I would say you could start. Because you could have 8 coaches under you and still not be diamond until people are emeralds. So I would say once you have a few under you that you start to, are really like getting a relationship with, then I would say start your own group. I think that's it. We only have 5 minutes left.
I just upgraded.
Oh, good.
I've been wanting to upgrade for a while, and I guess tonight was the night. So I'm like, AJ, bring me my wallet. It's downstairs. Business expenses, which is something I can add in. That make sure you keep track of everything you spend related to Beachbody. Your website, your Shakeology, anything you give away, your internet, your phone bill, some clothes, even if you're teaching.
Post office stuff.
Post office, envelopes, pens, notebooks.
Computers,
multiple computers. Yeah, just start keeping track of that now. And then as your business grows, you'll want to separate it into its own account. Or Michelle already did that. She even talked to the lady at the bank about what she was doing. So yes, but it makes it a lot easier if you do have a separate account to begin with. Okay, so Steph, that was good. All right, this was a good one too. When a contact is not on Facebook and you want to invite them to a group, what do you do? So have you done other platforms, Pinterest, Fitbit, Instagram, and how do you go about it? So what I did in the beginning was email. I did a lot. My first challenge group, I think Jen was in it, was like an email thread between 5 people. So you could do it through email. Instagram's tricky. I think you could do like your own hashtag check-ins, hashtag carry 21 day fix, and check in that way. Fitbit and Pinterest, I'm guessing Fitbit, you could try to do your own message board for people. Pinterest, I have no idea. I'm terrible at Pinterest. But yeah, I mean, just play around with it. I mean, the main thing with a group is connecting. So whether you're doing a picture a day on your Instagram or you're doing something on your Fitbit, I don't know if there's there's ways to chat on there. So you can try that. There's other apps too. I used one a while ago where you can do like a group text. Do you know what it's called? There's an app. I'll have to look into it. I tried it once with a challenge group. I was like, we're going to all message throughout the day on this app. And it's just like you link it to your email and you can all chat. So just make sure people are checking in, be creative with it. If it's only one person that doesn't have the social media you're using, then I would just reach out to them one-on-one because might be easier. Or you could check in with the other people and say if they want to jump in. So hopefully
Group text is Group Me.
Yay. Yeah, Christine and Sarah are on it. Thank you.
Oh. And they have that new app coming out. I saw a test group with some of the top coaches in it randomly.
The Beachbody app? For challenge
like
groups?
a challenge app or something.
That's going to be cool and helpful for us. So, yes. So there's different ways. You just got to get a little creative. Once you add a friend or a stranger, how do you start the conversation?
So for me, I always message them with why I friended them because I don't want them to not know who I am. So I will just find the common ground. If it's a health and fitness thing that we are related to, if I see that they went to the same high school I went to, if your kids have the same, teacher. So whatever it is that you find the common ground, even if it's that you have a ton of mutual friends, you could even reach out and just say like, hey, I saw we have like 30 mutual friends, and just start the conversation of, did you grow up in where I grew up? Or just always reach out and say why you friended them and just start the conversation so that they know why you friended them, and you can just start the conversation that way. And then I usually just kind of see where it goes and feel them out if they are receptive. And I also just kind of check out their Facebook page more to see if I can learn more about them, see if they have kids, see if they're into health and fitness. And I kind of just gauge it by their responses and go from there.
Perfect. Yeah. And as far as, you start the conversation and then don't be afraid to invite. Sometimes we wait too long. Like do it, like I've said, based on like when your next group is starting or, I usually do it based on that, basically. Like if I'm starting a group September 10th or I'm doing the refresh September, whatever day that is, 6th, like I'll say, hey, I'm doing this on this date. This is kind of random, but would you want to do it too? And then just don't be afraid to invite. What else do we have to do? How do you keep your conversations straight, like tracking? With many of the customers and coaches being strangers, before, how does your transition? So I just kind of went over the transition. Mine is like I said, I usually say, hey, this is kind of random. Or if they've brought it up before, I'll say, you mentioned that you wanted to lose 5 pounds before your wedding. Did you still need help with that? Stephanie, how do you make your transition?
From just into a challenge group?
Yeah, or just into an invite to the business or challenge.
Oh, yeah, I usually do something similar. I usually try to bring up something from a prior conversation or something I've seen on their Facebook, even if it's like, oh, I ate so bad this weekend, I feel so gross. Just pick up on little things like that even something like the 3-day refresh. And just when you start to learn and talk to people, you'll know if like, oh, they have a vacation coming up or something big, if they're a bride. I just try to really try to listen to people and see what's going on in their life and see where you can really help them. And just make it super casual and friendly. It doesn't have to be scary. Just say you're helping this person, and just think of it that way and just say, hey, I know that you're getting married. Like, if you want to lose the last 5 pounds, or there's a 3-day refresh, if you want to lead up with the 21-day fix, you're just providing options in a way for people to feel better about themselves. So just always keep that at the front of your head, that you're helping them.
Do you keep track of your conversations?
I'm better at it.
Stephanie told us she went in and what did you do? You went through and scrolled through all your Facebook messages.
Well, I scroll through Facebook. Yes, I use my Facebook messages, and because it's easy, because you can see what you did. And I do use my email, and I go through all my email and my sent mail, and but I have to get better about.
Do you want to see my crazy?
I'm actually getting much better at it because of all the trainings we're doing. I'm like, well, if I have to have my people do it, then I have to do it. So
yeah. It doesn't always come natural to people, and even myself, I still play with different ways. Like right now, I was like freaking out. I said, I'm going to hit Success Club 15. I'm actually at 14 right now because I was at 8 last week. Or no, I was at like 3 or something silly. But I started to write down people's like names, and then I'm writing like just replied. I wrote and like no money, not sure on Shakeology, no thank you. I'm like writing little stuff down in a notebook, like super simple name and then what they said. And then I can also kind of keep track, like down here there's like a notes, and I can say like follow up with these people who said yes. So find what works for you. I also have my crazy spreadsheet, which Emily really got a kick out of when she came to stay here. Emily and Jillian stayed, and she was like, you got so many red ones, because red means no, that they said no. And I'm like, yeah, like it's okay to get no's. And I think the sooner you like keep it in your head that it's just not right now, and like Stephanie said, you're just out to help people. Yeah, Carrie's on it too on Excel, just like keeping it straight on Excel. The sooner that you get that in your head and change that around, it just gets a lot easier. Like take yourself out of the outcome. Like you're just here to help. I
think that like me with it's easy. I can write it down and write their response, but like obviously if you guys have it like in an Excel sheet, then like you can alphabetize and you can find people. So obviously if it's on a computer, it's probably easier in the end. But so many people like to just write stuff down. So just find out what works best for you. Yeah. I just think if you were looking for someone, you're like, shoot, I know they said to follow up with them, but I don't remember why. Like, were they pregnant? Did they not have money? So if you can search by name, that's good too.
Yeah, and I usually just write down like on my spreadsheet or on my notebook, like little stuff. And if I want to really look back and dive into the conversation, if it's on Facebook or email or text, like you can go through the thread. So I don't really keep track of all that, or otherwise I would probably go crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. We're almost done with these questions. They're really good. Is it good or bad to focus on yourself when starting out in terms of results? That Stephanie kind of already answered.
Yes. If you guys learn nothing else, you need to concentrate on yourself, because you cannot help other people if you aren't helping yourself first. It is crucial. Like product of the product is number one, because if you're not using the products and sharing them every day, your business isn't going to go anywhere. So if you're not drinking Shakeology every day and you're not getting your workouts in, then it's not going to go anywhere. Use the 3-day refresh, use the 21-day fix. We have super short programs that can get you results quickly. So if you feel like you don't have a story yet and you're working on yourself, which is totally fine, just do little things like that, like the 21-day fix or the refresh. So people love photos. So if you can do those things and take a before and after, then that's what you need to do. And then you're really helping yourself too. So it's not like you're wasting 3 weeks just to do something. Like you're really making yourself better. And as you start to make yourself better physically, emotionally, mentally, it's all going to come out in your business. So focusing on yourself is absolutely the most important thing you do. Even if you feel like if you don't want to challenge pack the first month, just concentrate on yourself. That's definitely the number one thing. I can't say it enough.
Which is funny to think about, because now that we're talking about this right now, I'm like, oh, what did I've reached Success Club 10, knock on wood, every month this year. And I've focused on myself harder since January than I ever have on my own physical journey. So don't be afraid to make that a priority. And if like one day you don't get your invites in, but you got your workout, you ate healthy, like that's still part of our job.
Yeah.
So
like today, I was like, I have these goals by the weekend because I'm going to Bora Bora, and I was working so hard and I was in this rhythm. And if I didn't stop at that moment to work out, I had an appointment an hour later, and I almost didn't do it because I really wanted to keep messaging people. And I was like, I have to get my workout in because I need to focus on myself too. So I did it and I was happy. I did some.
Okay, so just a couple things to wrap up with, and I'll open it up for questions. Just one thing people ask me all the time, it wasn't on the feed, is that what about a like page? And I've done videos on this, but like pages take a lot of time. So if you are not used to posting 3 times a day on your regular page, I do not recommend going to a like page. I went over to a like page after I had talked to my 2,000 friends on Facebook that I had been adding, and I was like, shoot, I literally have a spreadsheet with over 2,000 names on it. And I showed it Christina. She thought I was crazy. But I was like, I've run out of people, So that's when I started going to Instagram and my like page. But like pages take a lot of work. I do recommend it if you have the time to do it. It's a good thing to start to slowly do it. But people don't see your posts. I have almost 10,000 people on my like page, and sometimes I'll do a post and it'll say it only got shown in 100 people's newsfeed. Like it shows you how many people even see it shows up. Out of 10,000 people, for only 100 people to see it, like that's crazy. So just a heads up on that. It's good to have eventually, but you have to be like mentally ready to spend that time. And I spend money on mine too. I do run ads on it. That's how I started doing $2 a day to grow the page. And now I run other ads as well. But like pages are cool, but they're a lot of work. So it's your call. I want to give you the truth about it. Another thing, like I said, weekly goals, write them out. Write out your weekly top 10 crazy cool goals. Write out, I know with our Diamond group, we're doing like really strict, like how many new contacts, business invites, and that we're doing. So I went back to the old business tracker for this week, trying that out. So make sure you're writing out goals every single week. Write out your income goal, write out your rank goal. Like the more you write it out and you start to believe it, it'll happen.
And put it somewhere you see it like all the time. I have it in my kitchen on the wall, and people come over, they're like, what's SC? I'm like, oh, those are just my goals for the month.
Tell them.
You see them, they're like ingrained in you.
Yeah. And it's true. Like even and don't be upset if they don't happen right away. I had Diamond written down, I don't know, for a long time. I remember I like wanted to hit it by December, and then by January, and then I finally hit it in that March. But just keep moving your date. Like it's okay. It'll happen if you keep working towards it. Another thing is personal development and investing in yourself. Like we talked about personal development being huge, but Stephanie and I have both invested in different trainings. We've gone to Shalene's Marketing Impact and Smart Success. Leandra's gone. Aaron's gone. We go together as a little crew. But finding personal trainings, I really want to go to the guy Amy Silverman talked about, Tony Robbins. I want to see him.
Me too. That's the next one.
Yeah, that'll be our next one. And Platinum Edge, I know there's a couple of you on here that are going. Michelle's going. She's bringing a crew with her. Leandra's going. Who else is on here going? Aaron's going to work on getting there. Shalene's teaching there again. Yay, raise the roof. Steps going. So if you can get there, I know Sarah wants to get there too. Sarah Kitt is going. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you invest in yourself. And like we said, these are things to keep track of and you write off as well, which is pretty cool to write off hanging out with your friends and learning about stuff. Another thing I want to add is Big Mo. So if you've read The Compound Effect, he talks about Big Mo. I think it's in that book, right? And Stephanie was like, what? You just never know. It's in one of those books, but you never know when the momentum's going to hit. So a lot of times you're doing like these little things every single day and you're like, oh, is this ever going to catch on? Or am I ever going to sell a challenge pack or find a coach? And all of a sudden, like, you don't know when it is, but the momentum just hits. And then you've signed up this coach and you hit Success Club 10 and you're like helping all these people and you have these really cool groups. So you just have to keep pushing and know that it can take off at any second. Like I don't even know how it does, but it just does. And one thing in addition to that is that anything you do in these 30 days don't always show up as you're doing them. So if I invite 20 people to the business today, I'm probably not going to sign up 20 coaches tomorrow. You know, I might sign up 2 coaches next month and 2 coaches the month after that. So you really have to remember that if you skip like a whole week or a whole month from doing your little like 3 people a day activities, then next month is when you're going to feel it, you know? So I know a lot of us have big life events going on. People are moving, getting masters and PhDs, and school starting, and like crazy stuff. Recitals are happening. We're going to Bora Bora. What? Getting married. We have lots of coaches getting married on our team because likes attract likes. But, you know, you just have to find time for those little things each day and know that it's going to pay off later. And so try not to take a full month off. I'm like, I hired my mom to do my like little stuff when I'm gone. So keep it going and just stay positive. Anything else we have questions on? Does anyone want to unmute and ask us? This is Ask Us Anything.
Just know if you slow down for like a good amount of time, it's so hard to get back into it. So even
it's like working out.
Oh, yeah. So even if you can do like 5 minutes just to like be in it, just like working out, if you can just do 5 minutes, you're still like in the game.
Yeah, so true. Do you have some questions? I'm scared to unmute everybody because there's a lot of us. Thanks for being on late with us too. We went a little over, but I think that means we can invite more people. I'm so excited. Yeah, party. I can't lift my arms because I did yoga yesterday. My shoulders hurt so bad. Anything else?
Anything.
These were good questions. So hopefully you guys took notes. I'm definitely going to post this recording and add links to some of these videos that'll help with some go deeper into the questions. But are we good to go? Thanks for everyone who watched AJ and I cooking on Periscope too. Christine was on it representing science. It was so fun. But yeah, Periscope, that's another thing before we go. Don't try to do too many like social medias at once. Pick 2, stick to them, master them, and then you can play from there. And pick ones you like. If you hate Twitter, don't do Twitter. If you hate Instagram, don't do Instagram. You know, so only pick 2.
Okay, what is Periscope? I keep seeing people post about it, and I have no idea what it is.
So it's a video streaming app that Twitter actually owns, I think. So it links to your Twitter account, and you basically, you know how Snapchat's like short videos? Like this one, people can search and find different videos and just watch. So Saturday night, I watched the fireworks in Disneyland because someone was periscoping. I watched the Foo Fighters concert in Chicago. Like we had it on our Apple TV. We were like looking, because you just can scroll and like read the different titles. Some people were like drinking by myself on a Saturday night. Like we watched a guy in a Darth Vader mask. But it's so, I mean, at first I was creeped out and I didn't want to do it, but I'm learning that it's a cool way to connect with people. Because when you see people on video, like, you know, like, that's my person, we're going to be friends, or like, this person's creeping me out, you know? So it's a good way to connect faster. And if you're going to do Periscope, Shalene has trainings on it. And, you know, I don't know, you just have to be you. I guess Shalene said workouts aren't doing well on Periscope. She does a lot of question and answers and trainings and stuff.
So can you, like you said with cooking, because I was thinking of doing something, but I wouldn't be necessarily like holding the phone, but you have to be able to read people's comments and answer them live.
Yeah. That's the goal, is to interact with people too. So Christine showed me how to find people's comments. You had to swipe up and then see people's comments.
I've seen some people do it like different ways. Like they'll do one Periscope where they're not interacting. So they will for like the first 5 minutes or something. And then they get into what they're doing. And then they'll say, okay, then like in 20 minutes or something after I finish this, I'm going to come back and take comments. And they might like shut that scope down and start another one right away. So then new people can jump on, because they like you get a notification if you're following somebody that they're about to scope. So I've seen people split it up.
Okay.
It was fun though. Any other questions? AJ's probably like, what are you doing up there? I'm like, bring me my wallet. I gotta give people money. No, I'm just kidding. This was fun though. So next week is Labor Day. So I don't know if we want to do a call Monday or maybe move it to Tuesday. Who votes Tuesday? Tuesday? Okay. I mean, I'm not doing anything crazy. AJ's doing his bachelor stuff all weekend, so I could do Monday, but I know a lot of people travel and have stuff going on. So let's just do Tuesday, and I'll pick a good topic that we can go on and on about. Stephanie will be in Bora Bora, so that's crazy. Anyone else going anywhere cool this September? Anyone else joining us in Bora Bora?
Me, not Bora Bora.
Want to come in our suitcases?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, you guys. Thanks for sticking on with us tonight. This was a lot of fun. It's good to see you. Sarah, I just want to give you a hug. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. So thank you. Any more questions, just leave them on the video, and we will see you guys soon.
Thanks, guys. Peace out.
Where's Leander dancing? All right, bye.